Hi folks, so I'm not in the Z4, but this is a Z4 video. I'm actually at Cadwell Park. I'm not driving today, but Cadwell. It's a beautiful, beautiful sunny day in December. Wish I was on track, but I'm not, sadly. But yeah, I thought I'd take the opportunity to get myself up to date a bit with the videos. So Z4, today we're doing lightweight, losing some weight. I weighed in the car, it was about 1,350 kilos, and I sort of thought to myself, I really don't want to ruin the car, but I'd love to nudge it sort of gently towards 1,300 kilos. If I can get under 13, I'll be so happy. So weight loss, where to start? The first thing I've got for you today is wheels. So there's only benefits, aren't there, of fitting lightweight wheels. We've done it before with other cars. It's a really obvious place to start for track cars and the like. Also comes with the added benefit of looking cool as well. So there we go. We have worked with Bola before, and I'm really grateful for their help again. This time they provided me with a material discount, which made these even cheaper. So they're pretty sensibly priced wheels anyway, but yeah, the Bola FLB wheels in 17-inch retail at $695. So they're a flow formed wheel, so really good quality wheel, nice and lightweight, 7.7 kilos in 17x8, and they gave me a really nice discount as on top of that, which made them, you know, no point in buying OEM rims when I can have some really nice flow formed wheels. So we went for the FLB 17x8 ET35. I have used some spacers as well in the wheels. I think it's a 12mm spacer at the front and an 18 at the rear on studs rather than the normal bolts. Don't like bolts. But yes, so the previous wheels we had were style 284 for the track and 441M for the road. The 284s are, I think they're a 5 series wheel. I think I've got that right. They're 17x8 as well. And I had some D-Mac tyres on there. They're sort of a bit of a budget track tyre. They were okay. A fairly heavy tyre and also a fairly heavy wheel as well. So we've lost lots of weight. I'll come to that in a moment. But a little bit about the FLB. Keen viewers will recall the FLB was the same wheel that I fitted to the M140i. Albeit in a 18x8.5, I think, that I used on that car. Nice gunmetal ones. I'll throw in some B-roll there of what they were like on the M140i. But I really like the design, really nice design, really nice wheels. And I contacted Bola again and said, hey, I'm looking for some wheels. Are you comfortable helping again like you did last time? And, you know, happily, very generously, they're happy to help, and they've produced a wheel that's ideal for this car as well. So the FLB is flow formed, as I've mentioned, which is sort of a middle ground between being cast and being fully forged. In terms of performance, in terms of sort of weight and strength, it's perhaps, you know, really in the middle, and perhaps a little bit towards being forged in terms of the weight. In terms of price point, you know, it's a lot closer to cast wheels than it is to forge. So it's a really nice, for those people who are budget conscious, don't want to spend £3 on a set of wheels. It's the ideal sort of construction of wheel. And a lot of the really good quality wheels that we all know and love, the likes of Enki with their MAT process, Apex wheels as well. There's loads of flow, Koenigs, loads of flow formed wheels, and I think that's one of the more popular manufacturing processes for getting a lightweight and a strong wheel nowadays. I went into a bit more detail about flow forming and manufacture and Bola wheels in the previous video on the M140i, so feel free to give that a look there, or there, probably there. But it's a wheel that's manufactured in the Far East, China or Taiwan. I think it's Taiwan off the top of my head, but I'll correct myself there if it isn't. Like a lot of these manufacturers manufactured in those areas, they're really pretty good at making stuff now, it turns out. Hence their economies being so huge and them taking over global manufacturing. So really comfortable with the, you know, with the strength, the quality of the wheel. They are also VIA tested, which is a Japanese destruction testing as well. So they essentially figure out what it takes to break them and stamp them to say, yeah, we approve they're, you know, good strong wheels. So gives some peace of mind as well. So the flow form process, in a very quick run through, what they do is they cast a wheel in a narrower size than you actually want, and then what they do under heat and pressure, they spin the wheel and they sort of stretch the barrel to make it wider, so you get a lighter wheel because you've had to cast it in a narrower size, and then you get some strength benefits as well, because the heat and the pressure and the rotation spins and changes the structure of the metal of the barrel, and makes it all stronger. So I'm guessing there's lots of straight lines or crossed lines and stuff like that, rather than things being all over the place. It's really scientific, because I'm clearly very knowledgeable, aren't I? But yeah, makes them stronger as well. So strong and light, what's not to like? The weight, I've mentioned 7.7 kilograms, so really nice and light for a 17x8 wheel. As points of comparison, so the 284, I said they were heavy, they are pretty heavy. I think they're about 13 kilos, something like that. So, you know, really quite a difference. The FLBs, I've put some part one Dunlop Durezas on, and they weighed in with the wheels at, there we go, 18.25 kilograms. The 284s with the aforementioned D-Max, they were 25.1 kilograms. So saved nearly 7 kilos a wheel. Crikey. So yeah, nearly 7 kilos a wheel. That's a lot of weight to take out of a track car. Rotational mass, unsprung mass, can't lose there, can you? I did the conversion just for the sake of it. 60 pounds of weight taken out of the car just by changing the wheels. Unbelievable. On the road, I used the 441M, which is an 18-inch wheel. They're actually not a particularly heavy wheel. PS5 tyres, so they're quite a light tyre. Construction of road tyres mean that they tend to be lighter than track tyres, so it's not really a like-for-like comparison. But even compared to the 441M, there's about 2 kilos sort of saving per corner, so still material. Unfortunately, I weighed it with the road wheels on, so I'm not taking off all that, what was it, 7, oh man, imagine if I was saving all that weight, 7 kilos per wheel, under the 1350. Sadly not, so I'll save about 8 kilos over the 441M road wheels and the PS5s, but you know, it's still working towards the target, isn't it? And on track, that's where the real benefit comes. Interestingly, talking about on track, there's a really good tyre reviews video that looks at the weight of wheels and tyres. I'm going to link that there if I can. If I can't, because it's not my channel, go look it up. So what they did was they tested heavier wheels, lighter wheels, to see if the performance, if the real live measured testing gave the answers that expected, because everybody fits the light wheels, but do they really make the difference that we all expect? Now Jonathan, that runs the channel, was a little bit underwhelmed, I think, by the results, but honestly it was about where I expected it to land. So he recorded a lap time difference of 0.1 second per 100 seconds of track time per kilogram of weight saved per wheel. So, you know, we're saving 7 kilos per wheel on the Z4 with the track wheel and tyre combination. Cadwell is about a 100-second lap, touch more. So 0.7 seconds. If we could save 0.7 seconds with these wheels from Bola, that's superb, isn't it? Absolutely brilliant. And in terms of sort of the effect of the weight loss, I think he suggested as well that it's about 1.7 times the weight of losing the mass from elsewhere in the car. So, you know, if you saved 2 kilos, let's say, or sorry, 8 kilos of total mass across the 4 wheels, it's the equivalent of 1.7 times that. So let's say 15 kilos, 14 kilos from the car. So it sort of has a little bit more of an effect than taking out your passenger seat, for example. So yeah, we've saved a bunch of weight. The other thing as well, I got in touch with the current owner of my old M140i. I wanted to see how the wheels had fared. So I didn't keep the car for too long after I fitted those wheels. So I wanted to see, are they durable? Have they lasted? What's the finish like? And he very happily reported back that 60,000 miles down the line, 6 years down the line, the wheels are in great nick. So you know what the state of the UK roads are like. They've clearly had some shit, and they're still in good order. He said the only thing that he'd noticed about them was that the centre caps a little bit of paint had come off the centre caps. So I think that is a pretty glowing endorsement for the Bola flow formed wheels. Really impressive, and made me think, yeah, definitely get some more of those. So we've lost some weight. How does it drive at the track? So I think it's clear. The previous setup were quite heavy, so the sort of the effect is going to be a bit more pronounced than it would be normally. So yeah, the car feels lighter on its feet. Steering effort is decreased a little bit. The car is more composed over curbs and stuff like that. The suspension just seems to deal with things better. And it makes sense, doesn't it? They've got a hell of a lot less to do with less weight in each corner. So I haven't, the car's always undergoing change. So I can't possibly performance test the impact of just the weight of the wheels. Of course, they've all got different tyres on, and I can't performance test on track without fitting the same set of tyres to the wheels and going out on the same day. It's not going to happen. So the science says there should be a lap time saving. The car should be quicker. he did some acceleration testing as well and braking testing and stuff, so you know, go look at the video. It's really good, proper science, proper performance testing, so go look at that on tire reviews. But yeah, really happy, like the style of the wheels, like the weight. They're going to be strong, they should be durable, so really pleased with those. Bonus content, more weight loss. So first place I often think of looking for weight loss in a car, road or track, but more so on the track side of things, is the battery. So we know that the old sort of lead, what are they, lead something, batteries are heavy buggers, aren't they? And BMW, they fit some really heavy batteries, don't they? So the standard battery in the 3 litre SI Z4 is 19 kilograms, so there's some weight to be had there, isn't there? I fitted a battery called the Noco NLP30. Noco seem to be quite active in the sort of the lithium battery booster pack chargers markets, don't they? And seem to have a fairly good name for themselves. I've always been impressed with their products. So I was sort of encouraged by the idea of a battery made by them. It's always a little unnerving with lithium stuff, isn't it? You want a brand name that you've heard of before with lithium. So I was really happy to go for a Noco. The NLP30 is quite a big bugger when it comes to cranking amperage. I've not got the numbers here, I might pop them on the screen. But yeah, it stacks up really quite well for its cold cranking amps. It's not got a huge capacity. It's, you know, relatively lightweight, relatively compact, so it's not got loads of capacity. Would I use it on a daily? I don't think so, but it might work perfectly. In my car, it's been on for probably 6 months now, and I've used the car intermittently, maybe once or twice a week for that period. Of late, it's sat a little bit more, and until the past week or so, when I've put the car in the garage for the winter, it hasn't been on trickle charge, so it's been absolutely perfect. Every time I've gone to start it, it's been very eager. It's clearly quite a powerful battery, so starting no problem at all. It runs all the electrics and stuff, no bother at all. Of course, electric power steering in the Z4 with the N52 engine, and I think I'm right in saying the water pump's also electric. So there's a bit of load on the battery and on the alternator, and it works perfectly well. Important things then about a lightweight battery. How much does it weigh? So 2.3 kilos. It is not the lightest lightweight battery, but I think that's because it strikes a bit of balance between having some capacity, having, you know, some pretty beefy cold cranking amps, and being one that you can put in a car that you use a bit more and have a bit more confidence in. So 2.3 kilos. And also importantly, some of the batteries are really quite pricey, aren't they? So this one comes in at around 200 to 220 pounds, which I think is pretty reasonable. You know, there's a lot out there that are 400, 500, 600, 700 pounds. Lots of unbranded ones, sort of 100 to 200 pounds, but again, lithium, you know, it's a bit fiery and you can't put out lithium fires very well, can you? So yeah, I prefer to have a brand name that I know. So yeah, I think it was 160 because there was an offer on, can't remember where I got it from. It's Tanya batteries or something like that, but I saw it on offer and I was like, oh yes, I'm having that. I'm having that. Really good for that money. And I've saved nearly 17 kilos from the car. Can you imagine what you've got to do to save 17 kilos? How much carbon do you need to save 17 kilos from your car? So Really, really good for that money. 160 quid, 17 kilos. In terms of fitting it, what I've done is I've put some terminal adapters on it so that I can use the standard clamps to attach it. I like to do that so that if I'm ever in a pickle with a car, I can get a standard battery and just put it in there and use it, rather than having just the specific bolt-on clamps for a lithium battery. So I've retained those standard terminals, and I've just put some high density foam in the battery compartment in the boot, so that it doesn't move around, obviously, but also so that, again, I can whip it all out, put a standard battery in if I want to, so I can change back to as it was. So yes, 17 kilos there. I've also saved, as we've discussed, 7, 14, 28 kilos over the previous track setup, on the wheels, of course. So some good weight there, isn't it? 17 plus 28, what's that, 35, 45? No, have I got my maths wrong there? Crikey, that's some weight, isn't it? 28, 35, 45. Wow, 45 kilos for less than £1,000, with the wheels and the battery. That's good going, isn't it? 45 kilos. Unfortunately, as I mentioned, my 1350 weight wasn't with the track wheels on, so I'm not going to lose all that weight off my 1350, but when I'm at the track, it's going to be 45 kilos lighter, and I've not jeopardized anything. I've not taken my interior out, I've not lost my radio or my speakers. Most importantly, I've not lost my air conditioning. So yeah, I've not really impacted the car at all, but I've lost weight from important parts of the car, retained all the functionality, and it's not cost the world. So yes, really good couple of bits there. I'm going to continue to lose some weight from the car. In fact, I have continued to lose some weight from the car, and I've lost some more. I've not ruined it just yet. That'll come in a future video, but for the time being, 45 kilos, pretty good going, isn't it? So we'll leave it there. I will have scattered in some track footage throughout this video, I should imagine. There is some more of that to come in future videos, so stay subscribed, and we'll catch you on the next one.